Hey guys, welcome back. It is your favorite Gamble the Limp, and I'm here with just a quick one. This is more of just some thoughts on something. This just arrived. Agents of Mayhem, the expansion, the Athena AI. So this is for solitaire play of the Agents of Mayhem board game by Academy Games. Now, I'll let you know, I backed the Kickstarter. All right, I backed the Kickstarter wholeheartedly. They did end up sending me a copy of it that I gave away. So they kind of sent me one. They kind of didn't, but they did. So I definitely want to like put that up there up front and say that like I know these people personally. I've met them. I've shook hands with them. I like them. I really do like the people at Academy Games, but I'm not doing my job correctly if I don't call out things that I don't like and I don't agree with. And the solo thing here has just been one huge misstep. It's taken forever to deliver, and I understand sometimes delays happen. Sometimes things happen that are outside of a publisher's control, whatever the case may be. And I think part of the problem here is that Academy Games is all about perfection. They want it to be perfect. They're German. They really over engineer stuff. And I'll give it to them. Most of their stuff releases without errata. It's usually spot on when it arrives, but it just takes a long time to get there. Problem is there was just huge gap, years gap between the game releasing and this getting here. It's too much. It was way too large of a gap. They should have had that closer. I don't know what happened that caused the massive delay, but it did. Okay, I understand delays happen. I won't hold it wholeheartedly against them, but the game's it's already past its prime because people have moved on. Now, Agents of Mayhem, the board game, I will say I thought was critically underrated. It did not get the attention it deserved, and I really thought it was quite good. They came up with a very good system, 3D terrain, nice miniatures, good rules for the game. Like the game just looked good on the board. Asymmetric forces, just like was in the video game. It really kind of went along with the video game, but it was its own thing. But I especially like that 3D nature of it. Really, really good. Uh, Most people didn't take to the game, which I don't get. You should be able to find a copy of the board game if you're interested in it for a relatively cheap price. I know it was selling for like $60 there for a while, which was an excellent value for the game that you got. I don't know. It might be harder to find now that time has gone on, with yet to be seen. This is definitely going to be hard to get a hold of because few people had it. But okay, game is good. The AI finally comes, but there's a couple other missteps there with it. One, I don't like them doing the digital rulebook. I kind of get it. Like they were so far past when the game shipped that they couldn't include the rulebook for this in the box. Okay. But I like having the actual rulebook. I don't like digital rulebooks. I never really have. I like having the rulebook in my hand. And now the only way to have the rulebook for how the solo cards work is to pull it up online. But on top of that, we had to pay extra shipping for this. And I think that was a huge critical misstep. That one they should have taken on the chin because it was so far outside of it because we paid the shipping for Agents Mayhem, but then the agent ships and then COVID really kicks off and does all of the COVID-y things and price go up. So I get that there was that difference and they were going to have to eat a huge cost to ship all these out. And the shipping cost they charged was only $5. So it wasn't like it was a lot. And I'm pretty sure that was probably with them eating part of it. But I'm like, this should have come with the game. So it shouldn't have been an extra shipping charge. I shouldn't have had to pitch in an extra $5 regardless. And that's why I think that they made the misstep here of charging people to have something that shouldn't have been that far separate in the first place. Not to mention when I paid the shipping something like a year and a half ago. I can't remember exactly when I paid it, but it was a while ago. I think it was over a year. when I paid the little $5 to get this sent to me. So I figured, oh yeah, great, that'll be here soon. A month or two, I'll have the expansion. No, that still took a while. So the amount of time between paying for the shipping and then I don't know, maybe they were trying to lock in a good rate. Maybe they were warned that it was going to go up. So pay for shipping now, so you're not paying more later. Whatever the case was, there were a lot of missteps as far as this product was concerned. And I can't even say if the product's good or bad. I haven't actually used it yet. And the game's put away there for a while. I had Agents of Mayhem, the board pieces still set up, and I had it pushed to the side of my room because I was like, the expansion's coming and I want to show that off as soon as it gets here. So I didn't bother disassembling it because you have to screw together the 3D pieces. And I left that there. I just swear to God, I left it there for a year before I finally gave up and I tore it down, took it apart, put it in the box and packed it away. And I felt bad doing it, but I was like, I can't just take up my table space forever waiting for that game to be there. Now, I wasn't taking up my whole table. I had it just in the corner waiting because I was so confident that it was going to be here. And that was like 4 years ago that happened. But the game's finally here. I'd like to show the solitaire aspect of it. The cards themselves are nice. It feels like the same type of cards that they use in their other games. Conflict of Heroes, by the way, is simply phenomenal. One of the best tactical games I've ever played by Academy Games. And I just mean that in general. Third edition of Conflict of Heroes. If you are into World War II tactical games at all, get that game. You will freaking love it. It's bar none amazing, right? And that's me trying to make a happy sandwich, right? Because I don't want to hate on them too much. I don't want to tear them all apart because they are nice people. And I feel bad when I have to tear someone up over something, but there was just so many missteps when it came to these cards and the expansion in general that I wouldn't be doing my job correctly if I didn't call someone out. And I can't just not say something because they're friends of mine. I have to say the good and the bad when it happens. The cards are nice. I don't know what they do anymore. I can't remember the rules of the game. It's been so long. I know it operates very similar to their other AI system. They do have a deck of AI cards that go along with their Conflict of Heroes game. The one that I was just telling you is so good. Very good game, Conflict of Heroes. But they have their own unit deck. So they created an individualized AI deck just for this game. And I gotta give it to them. At least they delivered. Okay, so they followed through. I don't know. Whatever it was, I just feel like whatever was taking their time up and delaying them here, they should have finished it. I'm big on commitments. If you commit to doing something, do it and finish it before you start another commitment, right? It's just so much time has passed in between then and now. It's hard to be, all happy about it. I'm going to go through these, try to figure it out. I don't know when I'll pull the game back out to see how well the cards work. It'll be a little while because I've got some other stuff, plenty of other things that are way ahead of it. I will say I like the look of it. The cards look like it'll be easy to understand what's targeted, who's going after who. And again, the game itself, Agents of Mayhem, the board game, was quite good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I like the system. I like how the units operate, different dies, different abilities, shooting through. I remember in the game that I filmed, I had one of my characters jump off a building and like shoot through a window and then crash on another enemy. Like you could do outrageous stuff like that in the board game, just like you could in the video game. Very, very fun. Quite good game. I don't know. Here are the cards. I'm just showing them to you guys to say, hey, they're here. I'm going to have to go through the rules on it when I get a chance and see how all this works. But here's what the cards kind of look like. I don't know what they do, how they do it. I guess if you're flanking, if you're in cover, see, hold, capture, defend, protect. I'm looking at the terms up here in the corners. Sorry, it was blurring out on me there for a second. Down minion. So I'm guessing this has to do with what situation is going on in the game. It's going to respond as such. Target object, focus, exit, vehicle. And they do have a couple of summary cards in here that give a very brief explanation of things. So this is what the expansion is. It's 2 large decks of cards. All right. That's what it is. It's nice stuff, nice material that it's made out of. Their usual water repellent cards. So that's very nice. The only thing is, I would have liked to have seen them include written rules in the box. I know they were trying to keep it as small as possible, but screw the digital. I don't want digital. I want a physical product. I couldn't tell if that was actual cards still in there. No, it's a nice little design piece in there. You see the designs for it? And it may be asymmetrical because both sides did operate differently. One side was Legion, so they were like swarm, horde, faction, multiple units per like activation, whereas one side the agents were individual agents, so you'd have a couple of agents fighting a swarm of bad guys. The bad guys couldn't do as much, they weren't as powerful, but there was a lot of them. The agents were very powerful, can do really cool stuff, jumping off buildings and all that. Like I said, the game was very good. I just wish this had come years ago when I was still like, oh yes, I'm looking forward to it. When I still had it set up on my table, I would be more excited about it. Now it's just like, okay, it's here, but I haven't thought about this game in so long. Hell, I don't even know where it is in my collection. It's in my shelf somewhere. I have to dig it out and try it out. But there you go. If you did order Agents Mayhem and the solo thing, expect it. If it has not arrived already, they are shipping those out. So better late than never. I can say that because at least they are not Mythic Games. Mythic Games, they aren't delivering on something like 7 Kickstarters. So they haven't gone down that route. But I mean, that's like bottom of the barrel. Mythic Games is the worst you could possibly be when it comes to a board game publisher. And Academy Games is nowhere near like that. They're generally a very good publisher, very good rapport with their customers. They always double, triple, quintuple check everything that they do. Very little errata, always good components. Whatever happened here, the Agents of Mayhem thing, the expansion, God, it fell through one big hole in the cracks, causing a big deal. I know a lot of people were unhappy about that one. I hope this will be enough to assuage some of it, that at least they did finally get it shipped out. All right, that's going to be it for me. Y'all take care. I'll catch you in the next one.